I'm JR.
And today we are going to talk about some COVID reopenings today. But first, we are going to do the
And
holiday.
today is Memorial Day, if I'm correct.
Today is Memorial Day.
And of course, Monday, May 31st on the list is Memorial Day. National Macaroon Day. I still never had one of those in my life. National Save Your Hearing Day and International No Tobacco Day.
Right. Then on tomorrow, Tuesday, June 1st, National Hazelnut Cake Day. National Go Barefoot Day, which is all the time for me. National Say Something Nice Day. And International Reef Awareness Day.
You just say something nice to somebody at least once a day.
Right.
Then you have Wednesday, June 2nd, National Rocky Road Day. National Rotisserie Chicken Day. National Leave Office Early Day. And International Running Day.
Then Thursday is June the 3rd. It's National Egg Day, National Moonshine Day, National Repeat Day, and World Bicycle Day.
Eggs I have every day, so
Right.
I guess every day would be an egg day for me.
Right.
Friday, June 4th, we have National Donut Day, National Old Maid Day, Chess Day, and
National Cheese Day. Not
Cheese
chest,
Day.
Cheese.
Oh, my bad. Maybe I do need some better glasses. And then you have National Cognac, whatever.
Cognac,
I know it's
alcohol,
wine
yeah.
or it's champagne. It's
Yeah,
something.
It's an alcohol.
It's an alcohol.
Right.
It's a liquor, alcohol.
Right.
It's something.
Then on Saturday, June 5th, National Veggie Burger Day, which I know you don't like. National Black Bear Day, National Prairie Day, and International Environment Day.
Then we capping out the week was Sunday, June 6th, which is D-Day.
Right.
National Applesauce Cake Day, which doesn't even sound appealing.
I would love to try one. I need to find
Day and National Gardening Exercise Day. But applesauce and cake.
Yeah. I mean, apple cake is really good. I love it, but I've never tried an applesauce cake. So I would actually love to try that.
You go ahead and have all that fun because we know I don't like certain things that go together.
Right. I don't like
applesauce.
You don't like fruit and cake. You like fruit and some pies, not every pie, and you don't like fruit and cake.
I don't like fruit with pies. My only pie that I like is chocolate cream pie.
Right.
I don't like lemon meringue. I don't like apple pie. I don't like peach cobbler. I don't like none of that crap.
All right. Now we are going to get into our Good Samaritan or Good Feeling stories for the day. The first one, a man in St. Louis was stabbed in the neck, and he went into a bar, and a Good Samaritan grabbed a towel, made him lay down, and had people call 911 and held the towel on the man's neck until the paramedics got there.
Did they ever find?
According to the story, they never did find the person who stabbed him, but he did survive because of the actions of the Good Samaritan. And they also don't know who the Samaritan is because he would not give his name or anything like that.
But if they got a picture of him, somebody will recognize him.
The way he put it is, I saw a human in need, and I did what needed to be done. The real heroes are the people who do this multiple times a day as part of their job. First
so
responders
the guy that
are
put
the
the towels
heroes.
on his neck, was he a medic or
it doesn't?
Nobody knows.
They don't know. He was in the bar, and right.
He says past training.
Right. So he could have been in the military.
He could have been a medic.
Right.
He could have been. He could have took courses as a medic and never made it to the medical school.
Right.
Or he could have been. He could have went to school for EMT.
He could have been a doctor.
Right. He could have tried. He could have been going to a doctor. He had some kind of, according to that statement, he had some kind of training.
Right. But he said, he didn't want thanks. He doesn't consider himself a hero. He just did what needs to be done.
Somebody's going to try to turn him into a hero.
I know. Then the next one I thought was a little bit funny. This happened in North Carolina. People in a grocery store parking lot saw a woman getting carjacked, and they hit the assailant with a frozen turkey and held him until the police got there to stop him from carjacking.
Look at the name of the road. 1010 Road.
Look at the name of the city. I can't even say that. Fuquay-Varina.
Fuquay-Varina.
Right. I'm sorry if you live there. I really am. I'm not good with pronouncing strange things. Although I live in New Orleans and I can pronounce Chapatulas.
Or
But
Bukhari.
right.
Yeah,
I just thought this was a little funny. Now, this did happen in 2008. I'm trying to find current stories of Good Samaritans, but they don't highlight them a whole lot.
So was
but
it
I still
a
thought
woman?
this. I don't.
Wait, so
No, it was a
Frozen Turkey
shopper.
when he
It was
alleged-
a male shopper who
Oh,
a
he
woman.
had scroll down. He had her on the ground, physically hitting her.
Right, and the shopper grabbed his frozen turkey and hit
And I'm
the
sure there's some
assailant.
kind of pun or memes
Right.
that can be derived from that. I just I can't. I'm not off the top of my head.
Now, this one happened in April. This is a Good Samaritan, saves an injured man after a house explosion. I want to go down and show you the picture of the house. This is the house. The man said he was walking by. He was visiting the neighborhood because friends of his lived down the street, and he saw the explosion, and then he heard somebody yelling for help. So he actually went into the burning building. The man inside was burning as well. He grabbed the Good Samaritan grabbed a blanket and put the man out, and then carried him over his back out of the house that was burning. And you see how the whole front of his house just blew off.
When I see stories like this,
But this man,
one, the other one, the Good Samaritan, or any weird stories, it's like you don't question it, but it goes to show you that sometimes you just happen to be put in the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
I've had that discussion a lot of times in my life that you never know where you're going to be or what's going to happen.
Right. And I mean, this is the. Let's see. I think Dwyer is. Surveillance local man Dyer. His name. The man is Dyer. He rushed the man who he heard yelling. And he heard him crying out loud and screaming, so he went in to help the best that he could. He basically ran into a burning building that had exploded. The front of the building had been blown off to save someone who he didn't even know.
Some people wouldn't do that, though, because they're afraid that they get in trouble.
Or they're afraid they would get hurt. I mean, the house was on fire.
That's another thing. Some people are afraid they're going to get hurt or afraid they're going to get in trouble if they rescue somebody and they die. They don't want to get put in jail. They don't want to get sued. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of looking for these good feeling stories and the Good Samaritan stories. I've seen a lot of people who sue Good Samaritans because either they were trying to commit suicide and they didn't want to be saved, or they're just after money, and I've seen a lot of those stories, and I just kind of try and go past them and find the ones of people who actually deserve to be highlighted, because some people are just, to me, despicable human beings. They just want money and they don't want to help other people.
Well, I've always said that, I don't seek credit for anything I do when I help people.
Right. But today the first thing we're going to talk about is we have said many times, we live in New Orleans, and New Orleans is starting to open up and get back to normal, and we wanted to kind of talk about how we feel. Mask mandates are coming down all over the country and all over the world. Well, not really so much all over the world, because there are still some places that have high infection rates. India still has really high infection rates. I know that most of Europe seem to be coming down, from what I understand, from what I've seen, but their mandates are still in place. The U.S., their mandates are coming down, even though now the numbers are coming down, but not really that quickly. But people are tired of being home and they want to do what they want, so they're not. Governments are saying, let's just open up.
You can do it safely and you can do it responsibly.
Right.
And I don't see a problem with it, but instead of opening it up faster, they should have a more strategic plan in place, because I'm still going to wear my mask.
Right.
And I go in stores and...
Now, I don't wear it quite so much in the gym, but typically when we're in the gym, there's not a whole lot of people there anyway. We still bring the alcohol sprays to wipe everything down. Everything that we touch, we wipe down anyway. I don't wear the mask as much in the gym, like I said, because there's really not that many people there when we go, because we're going so
Yeah, the past
early
couple
in the
of times
morning.
when we left after we did our workout,
It's been empty.
the only people that's been there is the ones that was in the what they have. They have at a gym. They have a
classes,
Scorch. They have
right.
what's called Scorch 60 training
The
gym.
classes are still there,
And
but most of the workout
downstairs,
people are not.
all the weightlifters that lift weights and everything, they're gone,
Right.
or they're upstairs doing cardio after their workout.
Mm-hmm.
So there's really
right. So there's not been a lot of. So we're in it, but whenever we go into the store, I'm still gonna wear a mask for now. Anytime I go inside any place, I'm still gonna wear a mask.
Because there was an article I never read to you about how people still, even vaccinated, they said they're still going to wear that mask,
right?
Even continue going forward.
Right. Well, I don't trust that people who haven't been vaccinated are going to admit that or are going to wear masks.
Right.
Because
it says on the
especially
doors,
in this area, we still have a lot of people who
don't want. If you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. But I don't trust humans enough to get in the vicinity of them that they're going to tell me they've been fully vaccinated.
Right. Because we have been fully vaccinated.
I have no care in the world to prove. I'll prove it to you. I'll show you. You want to see I'm vaccinated? Here's my card. I don't give a shit.
Right. All 4 of us in this house have all been vaccinated. We're all fully vaccinated. And we fully intend on, as soon as when they find out when and if we have to have boosters, we're definitely going to have the boosters done.
Like the people that go in the stores, I'm fully vaccinated.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Right.
I mean, how do we know?
I mean, elderly people, I tend to believe just because they're at the most risk from this.
Elderly people are going to be more honest and straightforward.
Right. But
than a young.
Right.
I'm not going to say all elderly people.
Some people.
But a majority of elderly people.
Because it can affect them so much more drastically. So I tend to.
But most elderly people before the pandemic didn't leave much anyway. So I mean,
and we are both kind of introverted people who don't really like to go out and do a whole lot of things to begin with. So when this pandemic didn't stress us, except for the fact there was a deadly virus, but us having the quarantine didn't stress us out because we're homebodies and we'd rather be at home anyway.
If I didn't have to donate plasma twice a week for extra money, I wouldn't even go there. I'd go to the gym, and take my mom to the doctors, and even before pandemic, I'd take her to the doctors, and I would stay home as much as I possibly could.
Right.
But
I stay home as much as possible. We go to the gym, we go walk around the neighborhood. Yes, we have to go to the grocery store, which I wish that we didn't, but
now that we go to the gym twice a day, we don't have to make a trip once a week.
Right.
We can stop during the week in the morning and get the few things we need here and there. We don't have to make.
Right. We can stop at like 7 o'clock in the morning when the store first opens. There's barely anybody in there. Go get what we need and get out. We're not dealing with the crowds at the store.
We don't have to make one trip a week to 3 or 4 different stores and a day trip. We can look at our board in the morning and say, okay, we need this, this, and this.
Right. Because on our refrigerator we have 3 separate whiteboards. We have a grocery list, we have a non-grocery list, and then we also have a little thing that says we have 2 coffee pots in the house, and we put what's in each coffee pot because I like flavored coffee. He likes regular. Well, he likes chocolate coffee, but he likes regular coffee, and then puts chocolate in it.
Maybe once things get back to a little bit normalcy, maybe we can just make a. Well, it's hard to make an order of stuff to pick up every day because we don't never know until we don't look at the board until we get up in the morning. So slots aren't used yet. When you have grocery pickup, you have to usually make the order. You have to order it at least a day. Even before pandemic, you got to like a day or 2 ahead of time, and half the time.
And I really think we'll be able to do that more though going forward because not as many people are going to be using it because things are opening up.
Right, but still, we get up. Okay, say we get up at 4:45 in the morning.
Right.
We
get dressed on the weekends.
And we get dressed. We go to the kitchen, get our drink or whatever, our water, and we look at the board. There's no way in hell you're going to tell me you're going to open up that Walmart app and put in that order to be picked up at 7 o'clock that morning. No. It's not going to happen. No. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to benefit us unless it's something that we like. Unless it's something that's non-food.
Right.
That we don't have to rush to get. We can place that order and pick it up in a few days.
But
when it comes to food,
with the pandemic being over, though, we can try to see about going back to maybe just shopping once a week or once a month. We used to do just once a month,
But
and
with
then
the way
have
your
order.
eating habits are,
Well,
it's harder to do that
I
now
know.
because you don't eat a lot.
Right.
And I have slacked back on. I told you, I don't buy a lot of meat. I buy it as I eat it because I'm tired of going to waste because I never know. Like I bought liver yesterday and went to the store.
Right. But
I'll have you. I'm not gonna eat that today. I'm gonna have you cook that tomorrow.
Right.
So after we get through here, I might take a ride to the store, go grab me some meat to cook. You know, just.
I know, but I mean, it's still, it's good to see that things are opening up. I know that, I don't know if it's this weekend or next weekend, they're supposed to actually have a parade, because parades for Mardi Gras this year all were canceled because of the pandemic. So they're actually going to be, from now on, for the next couple of months, they're going to be having parades, not traditional routes that they usually do, but in a neighboring town in Harahan, they're going to have a parade. I think it's next. Is it this weekend?
I think it's this weekend.
And for the first time in decades, because they don't typically do parades in Harahan. But things are opening up. People want to get out, and people want, in this area, people love to party. And we haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to party. So as things are opening up, they're doing more parades. And I still feel that this is not over. Yes, we have a vaccine, but not a lot. Not everyone is taking the vaccine.
Just take precautions. I mean, I'm not saying be like the character from the TV show Monk.
Right.
But wash your hands.
Right.
Sanitize your hands. It takes 20 seconds to wash your hands.
I know.
Even before the pandemic, I was always told 20 seconds to wash your hands.
Sing happy birthday.
Yeah,
that's the one thing.
Well, the first time I seen that when I was at
happy birthday. And
I was at Nichols when I was at Nichols State University, and I was in their clinic, because they had a clinic on. They have a
clinic on campus.
For students. And the first time I seen it, I walked in the bathroom and it said, "If you're not sure how long it takes to wash your hands,
sing happy birthday." Right.
And I'm like, okay. But yeah, I mean, all it takes is 20 seconds to wash your hands in warm water. I mean,
I know, but I still think
I know some men and women that wash their hands before they use the bathroom and after they use the bathroom, no matter what. Like, then that's your prerogative.
Right.
I mean, if you want to wash your hands before you go and take a piss, mainly men because they touch their junk. Women, they don't really touch themselves because they use toilet paper. But if a man or woman wants to wash their hands before they use the bathroom and after, hey, that's your prerogative. I have no problem with that.
I know.
Just wash your hands, sanitize.
I just
be careful what you transfer.
Right. When all this started last year, at the beginning of last year, I said on numerous occasions, I really felt like millions of people were going to die. And as of now, millions of people have died. But I still don't think it's over. I really don't. I think things are opening up.
What is the death toll? What is the death toll across the world right now?
I'm not sure right now.
COVID death toll.
Yeah, let's see.
As of now. Put my reading specs on.
Worldwide per 1 million. Total, we have had 3.52 million deaths.
But that's lower than what most people would think.
Right, because during the last pandemic that we had in 1918?
Something like that.
I think it was 1918. I know that Donald Trump kept getting it wrong. I think it was 1917 and 1918. There were 50 million estimated died.
Right. And I think, honestly, this is my opinion. I'm no expert. But in about 3 or 4 years from now,
these numbers are going to be different.
Right. Because I've said this before, they have to go in and find out what actually was the cause of death. They can say, oh, well, it was COVID related, and then they can find out it wasn't. Then they can say it wasn't COVID related and turn around and find out it was.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, the statistics can get blurred. It happens because so much was happening at one time.
Right. There were so many people dying and many things were happening. But
then all of a sudden, things get blurred. Information gets intentionally and unintentionally. Information gets blurred.
Right. And
nobody's going to tell me that there's not people out there that's intentionally flushing these numbers. It's happened.
But from all estimates that are all around the world. These numbers that we're looking at are far too low from what most experts say. They're far too low.
Maybe experts get
Right
it wrong.
now,
Who knows?
Right now, they don't have an accurate total in like India and third world nations and stuff.
Because they're just putting the bodies anywhere.
I know.
They're just putting them on the side in the fields.
Right. And I mean, I guess why this has hit me so hard is because I have known people who got sick and died from this. You know, one of my dad's cousins died from this. One of my cousin's father, I'm related to her through her mother's side. Her father actually died from this. My godfather died from this. You know, so I know people who got sick and died from COVID, and I guess is why I get so angry when I see people say that it's not so serious. Because
or
yes,
it's
there
fake,
are,
or it's a hoax,
right.
or this.
And yes, there are people who recover from it, but you don't know what the lasting effects of this are. You know, and we won't know the lasting effects of this for years to come. This is a serious virus that affects every part of your body, and even people who recover, there's no telling what it has done to their body. You know, so I mean, it's just something that I get very upset about, and I don't think people are taking it as seriously as it should be. I mean, maybe not for them. I mean, we could have had it and not been, not known. But if we would have had it and brought it to your mom who has COPD, who has fibromyalgia, who has had 4 different types of cancer, she could have died from it. You know, that's why we took so much precautions.
We still don't know if she could have caught it and not known
right.
it. I mean, we don't know. I mean, everybody has a particular,
right.
immunity to certain things.
I mean,
we've talked about Ozzy Osbourne and Keith Richards,
right.
that person studied their genes, and that for them two, they should be dead by now, all the stuff that they've been through. So,
right.
the human body is a phenomenal thing.
Right.
Because when we
but
talk
then it
about
can also be very susceptible to other
exactly.
things and can be very brittle. So,
they got people out there that can catch this virus twice and live and go on and live a healthy life.
Right.
Very
and
rare.
Somebody else who could catch it and die within a day of catching it.
So, like I said,
many people,
human bodies are, because I talk about it all the time, muscle memory,
right.
viruses. I mean, everybody affects.
A lot of people are affected. I mean, no two bodies are exactly the same, and that's
not
something,
even twins.
Right.
The only thing that looks the same is on the outside.
No, a lot of their DNA is the same.
No, I'm talking about the way that things affect them.
I know.
Like, you can have 2 identical twins that look on the same DNA, look the same on the outside, but get sick and one can get sick and one can have what is it we talk about when we don't experience symptoms, asymptomatic.
Right.
One of the twins can be asymptomatic and one cannot. One can get sick at a sneeze. Like, somebody can sneeze on them and catch a cold.
Right.
The other one, you can sneeze on them all day and they don't get sick.
Right.
So just because they look the same on the outside and have the same DNA makeup,
right.
doesn't mean their bodies are going to do the same thing.
Right.
Which, that's what I'm saying. Twins
right.
can have different reactions.
Different people react differently. No two people are exactly the same. And, I mean, we've had recorded 3.5 million people die of this. Yes, there are 8 billion people on the planet, but...
How many?
8 billion.
Oh, that's too much.
There are 8 billion people on the planet. But, I mean, we don't know, like, what Russian numbers, because Russia has not reported the majority of it. North Korea has not.
Japan,
right.
China,
we don't know what those numbers are. And there's a possibility we never will. But... one thing, when all this started, my son and I, Marcus and I, looked up, and every 100 years in human history, for the last 10,000 years, for the last recorded history of about 1,000 years, every 100 years, there has been some type of pandemic or a global emergency that has killed about 1/4 of the population. And that's why this... to me, I don't feel like this is over. With the amount of people that we have on this planet,
it may not get to the heights it was before.
I really think that it still has more people to take. I really do.
But I don't think it's going to get as bad as it was in the beginning.
I don't know.
Because they have more They have more.
They have the technology.
They have more
but
information, more data, more understanding of it now than they did in the beginning.
I'm
not saying it's completely over either. What I'm saying is I don't think it'll reach heights as it did in the beginning. It might get halfway there.
But the thing is, if you look at the numbers and what's happening as far as the virus, yes, numbers are going down, but they're still not at where they were at when we quarantined. When everything shut down, the numbers were lower than they are right now. It's just people are so tired of the economy, and...
So you're basically, in your opinion, saying that some of these governors are giving into...
Yes, I truly believe they're giving into... They want to have things open. They want people to go back to their normal lives despite still being hazardous. And that's why I think people are going, especially people who don't want to get the vaccination, people who don't want to get the shot, they don't trust the science because of politics, they don't trust the science, they won't go get the vaccine, and these people are going to get sick. Not everyone, no, it's not everyone's going to get sick, but
I roll my eyes to people like that.
They're
just tracking us.
I don't care. It's about health.
The government has been tracking humans longer than
this right here is a tracking device.
Cell phones,
people don't realize
your computers,
right. Your TVs, your watches, everything.
Your cars, your computers,
anything can be
your GPS in your car. When you use a GPS in your car, anything you search on the internet.
Right.
So,
and now I'm not saying I want to go to Russia, the communist way of life, or anything like that. I like our capital.
The government's been tracking us for a lot longer than me and you've been alive.
Yes, absolutely. And the better technology gets for us, the better technology gets for the government as well. So when all these people
talk about, the virus has chips in it.
No,
the government's been tracking us before all of this, so y'all can just stop all that.
It's just that it's about public health and public safety, and people who don't want to wear masks. The mask isn't for you. The mask is for me. The mask is for the other people who are around you.
We might not get to our other subject.
I know, that's fine. But it's just...
We can talk about that next week.
Right.
It gives me time to research it.
Right. But
research subjects about what's going on. But yeah, the thing is, viruses are viruses.
Right.
And I've said this before we started the channel, when we met, you knew I was a conspiracy theorist. You know I'm off the wall, a conspiracy nut.
Right.
But when it comes to things like a virus...
You're not like Alex Jones.
Well, when it comes to something like a virus, that is, and I've said this to many people, whether it was released on purpose, whether it was accidentally released, whether it was created on purpose, whether it was created by accident, a virus is a goddamn virus, and it's here.
Right. And there are viruses all over the world.
We deal with all kinds of viruses.
And the thing is that a virus is not something that
you got cold, you got flu, you got you got the COVID, there's viruses, viral-born viruses that we probably don't even know that's even out there yet.
And the thing about a virus is human beings and our bodies are very susceptible to viruses because we don't fight it off very well. Our immune system, no matter how good your immune system is, it still has trouble fighting off viruses. And they're working on it.
Isn't E. coli a virus?
Yes.
It's transmitted from food.
Yes, salmonella, same thing. It's a virus, and our bodies are very susceptible to viruses. Now, bacteria are the way our science has, developed things in our body. Our immune systems have gotten better at fighting off bacterias that get us sick. But when it comes to viruses,
is staph infection a virus? Yeah. Like when you get sores and
staph infection is more of
you can transmit that through
bacteria.
Water. Right. That's a bacterial virus, but it's still a virus.
No, I don't think it's a virus. I think it's just a bacteria.
Viruses have been around a long time.
Right.
So to me...
And the thing about a virus is a virus morphs. A virus adapts to its environment. And that's
why we have a flu vaccine
every year the vaccine changes because they keep
polio
talking about
virus?
I don't remember. I think so. But the reason they keep talking about variants is it's
adaptive.
Adapted.
A virus is adapted.
Every time they find a new variant, that's where the virus has adapted. And that's the thing about viruses is that they do adapt so that they can keep procreating, so that they can keep spreading, and that's something that our science is constantly trying to keep up with.
Reminds me of that movie with the monkey.
Outbreak.
Right. things like that, they're here.
Right.
No matter what we try to do, viruses are always going to be around.
Right.
I don't care. Once me and you are dead and gone,
right.
they're still going to be here.
Right. And
There's
the thing is that
you could 100%,
our bodies, our human bodies, are susceptible to viruses.
As long as there are
some
humans
people
and animals,
handle,
we're going
right.
to have viruses.
Some people handle it better than others, and some people can fight it off better than others. But there's still going to be a portion of our society, or a portion of humans that are going to die from viruses. People die from the flu every year. Not like COVID. COVID is much 100 times worse, and they're working on trying to combat it. But I still think, and I mean, the thing is about coronaviruses. There have been coronaviruses for decades, for generations, and the reason that the vaccine was able to come up so quickly is because different types of coronaviruses have been prevalent in our society for decades, and they've been trying to find ways to combat it. And when this one started killing people so quickly, they were able to more, take all the technology that they've had to get a vaccine out quickly. But
they're always working on
right.
it. Regardless of what people think, they're always working on something,
right.
like to try to
they're always trying to figure out what's going to kill people next.
When they come across a virus or some kind of fungus or something that can be harmful to humans or animals, they're always some of it may not surface ever.
Right.
It may not get as bad as this ever.
Right.
They might be able to find a solution for it.
Yeah, but like I said, I truly think
a majority of things when it comes to virus and germs and bacteria.
But like I said, with the research
it takes longer.
That Marcus and I have done, every 100 years, something like this happens. Something like this attacks human beings, and it's a fact. I mean, every 100 years,
my conspiracy brain can go to the Earth. That's the Earth teaching us a lesson,
right?
Or that's animals teaching us a lesson,
or it's aliens trying to cut off the population.
Who knows?
I mean, we know that they've had that they're coming out. The government's coming out recently with the reports that UFOs are real. So why not say aliens are real and they're trying to control our population a little bit? So
that's another subject one day we can talk about.
Right.
Aliens and extraterrestrials.
But we're out of time for today. We can't get into that. But
we will one day.
Right.
And conspiracies, because believe me,
he has lots of them. He really does like Alex Jones.
No, I don't. I don't like him as a person. His ideas spawn. When I hear something he talks about, it makes me think about my opinion about it. Because that's why I like to listen to other conspiracy theorists, because they might come up with something that I don't think about.
But please like and subscribe for more conversations like this. On Wednesdays, I have videos. This week is talking about some different types of motivation for my weight loss surgery. He's going to be talking about some pet peeves on Friday.
Some
OCD and pet peeves on Friday.
That really get on my nerves.
Right. But that's going to be all for today. Please come back and subscribe.
And
thank you.
Y'all missed our dog. He didn't want to come out.
Right, he didn't want to come out today. So y'all have a nice week. And we'll see you next time.